Warner Brothers is celebrating 100 years of movie magic, and they've decided to release movies on 4K UHD, like Cool Hand Luke. So let's get into it. His crime, nonconformity. His sentence, the chain gang. Paul Newman plays one of his best loved roles as the loner who can't bend to the arbitrary rules of his captivity. A fine cast, including George Kennedy in his Oscar-winning role. Strother Martin is the captain, who taunts Luke with the legendary line,
"What we've got here is failure to communicate."
With rich humor and vibrant storytelling, Cool Hand Luke succeeds resoundingly. Cool Hand Luke opens up on a small town where the heads of these parking meters are being cut off by our main character, Luke, who gets caught being wasted and robbing these parking meters. So he's sent to this prison where he becomes part of the chain gang. Has trouble fitting in right away with the people that run the prison and the fellow prisoners. He doesn't get along with any of them. He's very much on his own path. And so he earns trust. And the way he earns that trust is taking a beating in the ring. There's a boxing match early on where Luke is beat over and over by Dragline. And everybody's telling him to stay down, but Luke doesn't stay down. He says, "You have to kill me." The way that Luke has this persona of nobody's gonna get me down, nobody's gonna get me to go with them. I'm my own man. You know, he has this cool persona, which lives up to the name of Cool Hand Luke. Thus, he wins the prisoner's friendship, and they kind of bond over. Then Luke decides, I'm gonna escape. So he escapes for the first time, and then he's brought back, and he escapes again, and then he's brought back. So every time that he escapes, he's punished more. Solitary confinement, into the hot box, and several different brutal beatings, and digging more holes and being buried in these prisons, these prison guards and prison wardens, they try to break him. They never really do. Cool Hand Luke is directed by Stuart Rosenberg. The way that he frames shots, behind fences, there's always like an object in the foreground blocking our characters, which kind of gives the illusion that they're imprisoned and they're stuck in this bubble. One of the scenes that surprised me was the guys are digging ditches, and then this really attractive blonde starts cleaning a car in front of them, and the guys go nuts for her. And her name's Lucille, and they go nuts. Particularly Dragline, that's like his woman, man. That's his fantasy, and he can't stop thinking about it. That's what they live for, is just to get a glimpse of a female, and an attractive female with, cleaning, like a car wash, and rubbing her breasts against the car and everything. It's just, it shows all that. It just gives you an idea of these guys live in this isolated society now, that they're bad guys, and Luke kind of gives that positivity, like, you guys don't have to, like, play by the rules. There's a lot of gambling in this prison. There's poker. There's other things, but particularly there's a bet that Luke takes where he bets everybody that he can eat 50 eggs, and this is a painful scene. We're talking about full eggs, boiled eggs, 50 of those. Just the way that it was shot and edited, I just thought it was fantastic. Overall, Cool Hand Luke is considered a classic. I can't really go that far yet on my first watch. I think it still holds up. There's a lot of cool themes in here, but it's very much a one-location movie. A lot of dialogue. At times it dragged a little bit. I really enjoyed the ending. Really enjoyed the performances here. Overall, I think this movie has aged well. This new 4K UHD doesn't say anything about the transfer, but the picture quality looks amazing, fantastic, probably the best we're going to get. A lot of the debris was cleaned up. There's still some slight hint of film grain. Colors are well balanced. You really get the feel that you're on set with these actors, and it's quite remarkable how great they look. Dolby Audio, rated GP. So I don't know what GP means. 4K and the Blu-ray together. Though disappointed with special features, there's one documentary and one commentary. So not a whole lot here as far as special features. But overall, I'm going to recommend this release, especially if you're a fan of the film or a fan of Paul Newman. This is definitely one that you have to see. So if you've seen Cool Hand Luke, let me know below in the comments your thoughts on this new 4K and the movie itself.
No.
Yeah, who is it?
Hey, it's me, Gary. I was just wondering, since you got the vinyl player and I don't, and I hadn't been on the show in a while, thought maybe you'd be cool to show off my new record.
Gary, I'm kind of busy editing the episode. Okay.
Sorry, darling.
Alright, is the camera on? Alright, hi, I'm Gary, and I'm here with a vinyl record. Now, she can buy herself flowers, and I can too, for Christ's sake. Miley Cyrus, I bought it Endless Summer. This is my unboxing. As you can see, when you open her up, she's right there. She's right there. And it's a great record from a great young artist. Very simple design on the record here. So let's get into it here. We got of course, we got a vinyl. You know, it's got Flowers on here, which is her, hit record right now. She's really killing it with that one. I've always been a fan of her, and well, that's the record. But let's get to the good stuff, and that's the liner notes. And I gotta tell you, these are something. Alright, so we got a looks like some information here, and I'm not sure how this even folds. Oh boy. Yeah. This is something, guys. This is something. This is a I guess a poster. It looks like a piece, a newspaper that we used to get. Granny used to have it all the time on the porch, and the cats would shit on it. Oh, sorry, Dano. This is something. This is, I don't even know why this is in here, but we have some interesting photographs of Miley Cyrus's body, and okay, I better hurry before Dano gets back in here. Oh boy, oh boy. Back to the show.
Richard Gere goes over the top in Breathless. Richard Gere is electrifying as Jesse Ludjack, a small-time criminal obsessed with Monica, the beautiful French exchange student he spent his passionate couple of nights with in Vegas. Hightailing it to Los Angeles to rendezvous again with Monica, Jesse steals a fast car and accidentally shoots and kills a highway patrolman. Now the most wanted fugitive in LA, Jesse should get across the border to Mexico as soon as possible, but Monica leaves him breathless. Directed by Jim McBride, starring Richard Gere and Valerie Kaprisky. Breathless is, of course, the remake of Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, the French film from 1960, and it shares a lot of the same beats with the original, of course, but we're put in this crazy over-the-top fantasy comic book world that Jesse lives in, and he is obsessed with the Silver Surfer. So much so that he lives his life like the Silver Surfer. And he talks like this, and he has an obsession with Jerry Lee Lewis, the killer. He's crazy, man. He's crazy obsessed. He had a good time with Monica, and he wants to go for it again. So the plot is very simple. Shoots a patrolman, heads to LA to find Monica, and he doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap about anybody else. Goes into her class, interrupts her class where she's doing this, it seems like a very important presentation, but Jesse doesn't give a crap. He goes in there, he kind of embarrasses Monica, and we're off. Where the original film by Goddard uses a lot of quick cuts, this movie does not do that. Breathless, the remake, uses a lot of nudity, including full frontal of both actors, so you're getting to see Richard Gere in a way that you probably haven't seen before, and down side out, you get to see Monica in a nice way too. So you get the best of both worlds in this over hyper romantic comic book-esque Bonnie and Clyde type adventure here. And things start to unravel, and Monica finds out the truth about Jesse and all that. There's a battle back and forth. He's trying to convince her to leave with him. That's really the story. He's got a cool car, cool music, cool comics. He's a cool guy. It leads to this explosive ending that I really enjoyed. The reviews on this remake of Breathless weren't very positive. Gere's performance was kind of panned, but I think it works. It really works when you pair it up to the original. You kind of get the same vibe in some ways. You're not getting. It's a fantasy. It's a romance and a fantasy escape film of crime, and you want to lead the life, uproot yourself, and go on this adventure. And I think both of the films succeed in that. I really enjoy the original, and I really enjoy this remake. So can't deny that both of them together would be a great double feature. Breathless arrives from Fun City Editions on this beautiful new Blu-ray. Great transfer here, and the special features are amazing. This is a new 2K restoration from its 35mm interpositive. There's making of Breathless, a new video interview with director Jim McBride, and McBride gives some great behind-the-scenes information, including how he didn't want Richard Gere. He didn't want Richard Gere to star in this film. The studio wanted him. He wanted De Niro, and he waited for De Niro. De Niro kept saying, give me a few weeks, call me back. So he did, and then, give me a few weeks, call me back. So finally, Jim McBride called Martin Scorsese, and he's like, what's the deal with De Niro? And Martin Scorsese goes, well, we just shot a movie called Raging Bull where he gained a lot of weight, so I think he's embarrassed to be on camera. So De Niro ended up passing, and then went back around to Gere, and I think Gere was a great choice for this. So that documentary is great behind the scenes here. It's also the alternate ending, and the director's commentary. A lot of cool stuff on here. Newly recorded commentary with writer and critic Gene Kelly. Isolated music track, and a sexy booklet containing more stills and behind the scenes information on Breathless. Great release here by Fun City Editions. Let me know what you guys thought of the remake of Breathless 1983 in the comments below. And as always, this has been Return of the Disc. I'm Dan. For more Return of the Disc, visit returnofthedisc.com. Check out the audio version of today's show, available on all major podcast platforms. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.